Hi, my name is Amanda, and today's video will be what books I bought in the month of June. So I bought from two different places. I bought from Chapters and I bought from bookoutlet.ca. I will be showing the novels first, and then I will be showing the manga, so if you just want to see the books, you'll be able to see that first, and then I'll be showing my manga that I got. So yeah, let's get started. So first I will start with the books that I bought from Chapters, and I'm just going to show you the first one because this is Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. And I actually ended up buying the box set, as I will show you soon. But I had to buy this because I wanted to read this in the month of June, but I didn't finish it, so this is on my TBR for this month. I will be uploading that video very soon, so if you want to check it out, I'll have it linked down below once it's uploaded. But the reason I wanted to show the box set is I have a very small complaint. I noticed that when I went to take the book out, it was very tight, and it seemed like the books were forced together, and it did take a while for me to get the first book out, but about 2 days ago I tried putting the first book back into the box so that when I film it I could show the actual box set, but it was so tight that it actually ripped. As you can see, the box like just completely straight across, and I wasn't using that much pressure. I was just trying to squeeze it through, and it ripped pretty easily, so I'm a little upset about that. I think this should have been better quality, as I would have liked to have it intact, the box set, but I'll figure out if I'm just going to tape it or recycle the cardboard. But yeah, bought the box set, but it ended up ripping, so. But I have the books at least. The next book I bought is Monday's Not Coming by Tiffany D. Jackson, and this is a very interesting book that hooked me the first time I heard about it, whether it was through BookTuber or just online reviews, and this, I'm pretty sure most people would have heard about it, but it follows this girl whose name is Claudia, and Claudia is friends with Monday, and she notices that Monday doesn't show up to school one day, and when she tries to investigate as to why Monday is not showing up to school, is actually just not responding to anyone, not showing up anywhere. No one is giving her answers, no one is interested in finding her, not even Monday's own parents. They don't want to talk to Claudia, they don't want to talk about anything, and it's a story follows that. It seems very interesting, especially with the problems in America. I feel like it could be a take on that. I'm very excited to read this whenever I get to pick it. Hopefully it'll be in a month this summer, hopefully. The next one I picked up is The Death of Mrs. Westaway by Ruth Ware, which was another book I wanted to read in the month of June. Wonderful book. This follows Harriet, who gets a letter saying that someone in her family passed away, and she's inheriting something from the family and she needs to go down, but she realizes that's a mistake, but she decides that maybe she can get a couple of dollars out or some money out of it as she is struggling with money problems. She discovers that this family has tons of secrets, and it's a great book. I really loved it, so pick it up if you can. The next book I picked up from Chapters, and the last one I picked up, is Dragon Champion by E.E. Knight. This is a book that my best friend recommended, as she's also reading this, and this was something I wanted to read in the month of June, and I'm still currently reading it, but I'm trying to read at the same pace as my friend. I cannot tell you what this book is about, only is that there's dragons, as the first chapter is literally all about dragons, so it's very interesting even from the first chapter. Hopefully I'll be able to read it soon if my friend can finish her copy first, but yeah. That's what I picked up, and I'm very excited. It's a 6-book series, so hopefully it's really good. Moving on to the books I bought on Book Outlet, the first one I picked up is Zodiac by Romina Russell, and I heard no one talk about this, but when I saw the cover on Book Outlet and read the synopsis after, I fell in love with what this book is promising, because it follows, I guess it's a girl? What is her name? Roma Grace. It follows Roma Grace, who finds out that she is a guardian of the Cancer sign, and there are guardians for every single zodiac sign. It's just, that's like one of my favorite things, both aesthetic wise or just things to learn about, is horoscope stuff. I also read that there are a lot of good reviews on Goodreads, so I'm very excited to read this, and I'm glad I picked it up even though no one on BookTube I ever saw talk about it, so maybe I'm just behind, maybe it was quite popular back then, but totally really excited for this one. The next one I picked up is My Lady Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows. I don't know much about this other than it's a take on Jane Eyre, potentially, and even that I don't know what Jane Eyre is because I've never read it. It is one of the classics I want to read. but I heard very good things about it. I've heard that it has a lot of comedy bits. I really want to pick this up so I can pick up the next one, even though I don't think you need to read both, but that's just how I am, and I'm very excited to read it. I also really love the accent here on the pages, how they're kind of rough and olden style, and I really like that little hint to the book. It's very pleasant. Next one I picked up is Renegades by Marissa Meyer. This was a series that I was just interested in from the cover, but when I heard it is about superheroes, I was immediately sold, and I bought it like that very day or the next day. But superheroes are like kind of my jam because I love Marvel stuff and X-Men, so hopefully this is like just as pleasant in my mind, and so I can really enjoy another superhero world. The next one I picked up is Scythe by Neal Shusterman. I heard so many booktubers rave about this, but the one reason I bought it is because it reminds me of an episode in Supernatural where, just like almost the premise of the book, no one can really die other than being taken by a scythe or Death Reaper. In Supernatural, there's an episode where an entire town, no one ever dies because the Reapers, they're not doing their job, and so no one is dying. And this just reminded me of that episode, and I love Supernatural, so other than the hype, I really want to read it just based off of the premise that Reapers or Scythes or whatever these creatures are the ones who take care of the dead, and I really like this, so very excited. I'm excited about all these books, and I'm sorry if you can see the books being stacked here. I didn't realize that might be in the way. The next one I picked up is In the Woods by Tana French. Tana French? Tana French. From what I understood, 3 kids go into a forest and only one of them comes out and they don't find the other 2, and then it kind of goes fast forward to when he's an adult and he still has no memory as to what happened with the little boy who survived, and it follows that, and I'm just very excited. It sounds interesting. I love cases that have that are like thriller or murderous that have children. There's just something that grips me. Hopefully I enjoyed it as much as I'm hyping it for myself. The next one I picked up is Wild Magic by Tamara Pierce, which is the Immortals series. This was, again, a booktuber who mentioned it, but they had the second book, which is a blue cover with a wolf on it. Not only was the cover amazingly beautiful, but the premise has something to do with animals. I don't 100% know what this book is about. I was sold just off the fact that there's animals and the covers are amazing, and Hufflepuff with the yellow. The next book is Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller. That's probably wrong. This was one of the reads I wanted to read in June. That made no sense, but whatever. And I did read it, thoroughly enjoyed it. I can't wait to pick up the second book. So this book follows Eloza, who is this young lady on the cover, and she gets captured on an enemy ship. They think they've caught the daughter of the Pirate King, that they're gonna get whatever they want, but in reality, she voluntarily wants to be on the ship to find a map that her father wants her to find, and it follows her as she is like a captive on this ship. But I would recommend picking it up if you're interested in this. It has pirates and a hint of mermaid, so definitely pick it up. The second to last book I picked up is This Savage Song by Victoria Schwab, and I have been so hyped for Victoria Schwab as an author in all of her books, and I'm just on a hunt to get all of her books so I can just binge all of them. I already have A Darkest Shade of Magic, and I plan on picking up the next 2 novels, and this is a duology, so I plan on picking up the second book as well, and basically any other book that she writes, because I've heard so many good things about her. No idea what this is about, by the way. Absolutely no idea. And the last book I picked up is actually a middle grade book, other than the Percy Jackson series, but it is called The Uncommoners by Jennifer Bell, which is the Crooked Sixpence, I guess, series. This sold me on the cover alone, and then I read the synopsis, which I forgot. It just seemed so interesting, and I was hooked. Although there isn't like on the back like written anything about the book or on the inside, so I can't even just read it and explain it, but on the cover it says that it's part Tim Burton, part J.K. Rowling, which is like 2 of my favorite things ever, and so I can't wait to pick it up. I can't wait to read it. I can't talk today. So moving on to the mangas that I picked up, I will show the ones I picked up from Chapters, and then I will go into the ones I bought from Book Outlet. So the first one I picked up from Chapters is Goodnight Poon Poon by Ineo Asano, and this was another read that I wanted to read in June, which I did, and it's a very interesting book. It's very dark in certain cases, but basically it follows Mr. Poon Poon over here, who is in elementary school when you first start reading the book, and you basically follow him into his life. So this book follows him into elementary school, and near the end, I believe he joins middle school, or however Japanese schools work. Very dark. It took me a while to get used to the humor, but it's definitely one of those series that you know is going to be good because it plays on topics that aren't normally in manga, and it's a mature manga, and I'm very excited to continue reading and learn about Mr. Poon Poon over here, and yeah, I did still thoroughly enjoy it when I read it. The next one I picked up is What a Wonderful World by Ineo Asano, and this, again, there's so many books of his that I want to read, and this is just one of them that I happened to pick for the month of June. This is not so much a story based off of one or multiple people, it is just short stories of different people, and I believe they're all kind of connected. I did thoroughly enjoy this, and I actually wish some of the stories went further into who these people were, but there is a second novel, but it is the last novel, so I'm very curious as to how this will end. Will it continue with short stories? Will it delve into maybe how all of these people are actually connected? I don't know. The last one I picked up from Chapters is Chi Sweet Home Part 1 from Konami Kanata. This is one of my favorite series ever since I read it. It is just what I needed. This follows Chi, this kitten, who gets lost from his mom, and then kind of you follow her as she gets picked up by this family. And first off, it is gorgeous because it's simplistic. It is a kid's manga, but it's all in color, so it just makes everything so pretty. I definitely recommend picking this up if you want to read something sweet and lighthearted and there's not too much thought into it, because this is really, really cute. So moving on to the manga that I picked up from Book Outlet, a lot of them are first novels and a couple of them are second novels or something like that. So I will quickly go through them as there's quite a lot and I don't know most of the stories about these, so I'm just gonna go as quickly as possible. So the first one I picked up is Captain Hearts of Oz story by Ryo Maruya and art by Mamenosuke Fujimaru. And this is an otome, I guess, or a reverse harem where it's one girl with multiple love choices, and these are kind of like my guilty pleasures. So yeah, this is something I really can't wait to pick up, and I hope they have more books in the series. I know they have up to 3 or 4. Hopefully there's more. The next one I picked up is Red Riding Hood and the Big Sad Wolf Volume 2. I picked up the first volume last month, and I saw that they had the second novel, and it was on sale, I believe, because when they had their summer sale. So I decided to pick it up because it still seems like a cute story, even though I haven't read the first one. The next one I picked up is Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid by Okay, I can't say that, but this is the name. This is volume 2. I picked up the first volume last month as well, and this is something I picked up because the anime seemed really interesting and really cute, and so I didn't even know it had a manga until last month, so I definitely had to pick it up. I have no idea what it's about, but it's very cute. The next one I picked up is Otome Mania by Tsugigase Yurino, and this is another reverse harem type of situation, or otome, as is said in the title. It has a girl, and she has potentially multiple love interests. I don't know if these are all of them. I believe it follows a girl who enters a company who makes otome games, and they all have something to do within it, whether that's music, voice acting, illustrator, the script writer, something like that. So this seems like really cute, and it's also like a fun take on otome games, as they're also one of my favorite video games. I can't wait to start reading this. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's cute. The next one I picked up is The Seven Princes of the Thousand-Year Labyrinth, story by Atori Haruno and art by Aikawa Yu. This follows a group of people who get stuck in this labyrinth, I believe, and then they have to find a way out, and at the end of the labyrinth there is this big treasure, and it's a competition on who will win that treasure, I believe. I don't know if like they actually get stuck or they both end up trying to get to this treasure all at the same time. It still seems very interesting, and he looks very cute, so I can't wait to read it. The next one I picked up is Plum Crazy Tales of a Striped Cat. Tales of a Tiger Striped Cat. Story and art by Natsumi Hoshino, and again, this is a story that follows a cat, except this is different from Chi, because usually Chi, the humans are kind of there, or sometimes one character is part of the plot, but it's really mostly about Chi. But I believe here you follow the characters that just happen to have a cat, or it follows their adventure with the cat, but you're mostly following the people and not so much the cat, so it seems a little bit more for like teens maybe, I don't know, but again, I'm really into reading manga about cats or animals in general, so this just goes in the same category as Cheese Sweet Home. The next one I picked up is Wada and the Great Blue Sea, the complete collection by Kaite Shujin, I believe. This, I don't know what it's about, but I do know that it is based off of a video game, so I will try to actually find this video game and play it, because I've heard recommendations that you should actually play the game first, because there are a couple of things that can be confusing if you don't know the world or what this video game is about. But I picked it up because it just seems so cute, and I've never seen, I guess, some sort of action based with like such chibi like characters. I mean, and it is the complete edition. It was also very cheap because it was from Book Outlet, so I thought, you know, I have nothing to lose. The next one I picked up is Dream & Sun Volume 1 by Ichigo Takano. And this I thought was a different author at first. I thought it was from an author from Aoharu Ride, but it's actually from the author of Orange. No idea what it's about though. It just looks really cute, and again, I thought it was a different author, so I was like, I want to support as many mangas that are put out in English as possible, as one of my favorite series from her is actually not in English yet. The covers are all color-coded, and like, so I can't wait to collect them and have all these like colorful spines just showing. It's gonna be cute. We're almost done with the manga. The next one is Kokoro Connect Volume 1 by the story by Saranatsu Anda and art by Kyuji. This, I believe, is a group of friends who end up switching bodies, or their souls end up in one of their friends' body, and they have to figure out how to get back into their own bodies, as well as everyone has to now learn, whoever is in their body gets to learn about their secrets, their fears, their past, and everything. So it seems very cute, but I believe it's going to be very sad maybe in some instances. It's definitely like the case where you can really bring out some sad stuff. So I hope it is that. I'm very interested in wondering how they're going to go with this book. The last manga is called Beasts of Abigail by Spica Aoki. I almost did not buy this, but then I read what this book was about, and right away I had to buy it because one of my guilty pleasures, and that is supernatural manga, which means when people are like werewolves or vampires or demons and stuff, which is very cliche because most people do like it, but it's like a guilty pleasure. I can't stop it. It's why I love the show Supernatural. It's all about that stuff. But it follows this girl whose name is Nina, and she gets bitten by a wolf or a werewolf, and she then turns into a werewolf, and she now has to attend a school for werewolves, and it follows her journey as to learning to become a werewolf and also dealing with this new society that she never knew existed before. It seems very cute. There's gonna be romance like aspects in this, and I cannot wait. Like I said, guilty pleasure to the max for me, even though it's cheesy, even though it's like maybe it's bad, but I have to read this just to fuel that side of me. So, and the last one I have to show is not a manga, not a book, it's a graphic novel, and when I saw this on Book Outlet, I immediately bought it because I just so happened to watch the movie later on, earlier this year, in January, and fell in love with the aesthetic, with the story, and that is The Last Unicorn by Peter S. Beagle. The illustrations in this bring out that feeling I had when I first saw the movie, and the aesthetic of the unicorn and the overall feeling of this movie. It was beautiful. I'm not a big fan usually of graphic novel art, that's why I stick to manga usually, but this is just the kind of art that I wished more graphic novels were in. This is just gorgeous, and there's one image of just the unicorn. Here you have like an actual shot of her face, and here you have the cover with, it's just, oh, it's gorgeous. Like, I'm actually going to look up the illustrators for this and see if they made other graphic novels for any other story, and I'm going to pick them up because this is just beautiful, totally worth the money. I even paid like half, if not more than half. In Canadian dollars, it's like $25, almost $30 if you include taxes, and I paid $10. So like, this is a steal, and I cannot believe that this was on Book Outlet. I recommend 100%, if you see this in stores, pick it up or go watch the movie. Go watch The Last Unicorn. It is such an underrated movie, and I can't believe I waited so long to watch it. It is a shame, but I'm a big fan of this, and this is like, again, I was just looking at it and I'm getting shivers. I'm talking about it and I get shivers. I might be overhyping it, but my god, do I love The Last Unicorn. It's so pretty. So pretty. Alright, so that was the end of my haul. There was a lot of books. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any books or recommendations or any books that you bought this month that you decided to talk about, like, let me know. I hope you had a good June, and I hope you have an even better July. And yeah, I hope you have a good day in general, and I will see you in the next video or whenever you watch one of my videos next. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!